Hey guys, how are you? It's a Monday, a very unique Monday for the Daily Juice podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You can follow me on Twitter at Sports Talk Matt. We're here every morning on BettingPros.com across all your favorite podcast platforms and now on YouTube with video of the Daily Juice each and every morning. All right, so I went 2-2 yesterday, but I'm in a good mood. I'm in a good mood because last night I ended, or 2 nights ago now, I ended by winning 2 bets. 2 bets that I made that helped to save the bankroll, even though we went 1-4 officially. I got a couple of in-game bets that I like, 2 bets in the Texas game that I liked and that I was able to cash. So that was great. And then last night, I jumped on, you guys on the Discord channel got me involved in this first half under with Texas Tech and Arkansas. 65, I played the under 65, 64. I don't know how it didn't, no scoring. It was 33-31 for like a minute and 10 seconds at the end of the first half. Nobody scored. So the under hit. So I thought I was feeling good. I thought my luck might have been changing a little bit. So I decided to take the winnings from that and roll that over to Oral Roberts' money line at plus 345. That cashed. So that was nice. I mean, when you end a day like that, so 2-2 for officially on the Daily Juice, but I put it in the Discord channel and I put it on Twitter that I was doing that hey, I was joining in on the first half and then joining in on the Oral Roberts rush at plus 345. And there were better numbers out there, but I got it a little bit before tip-off. And so a win over Florida for Oral Roberts and the 15-seeded Oral Roberts Golden Eagles are headed to the Sweet 16, and that's a nice plus 345 cash. So, I mean, it wasn't large. It turned into being, no, it was a quarter unit that I bet that I won. I took the money that I won from the first half under and bet that on Oral Roberts at plus 345. So, not bad, right? You get that. You get the 2-2 mark from yesterday. Illinois I talked about it last night. I said Illinois might be a problem. And I said Illinois could be a problem because of who they're playing. I thought they win the game between 4 and 8 points. I didn't think they'd lose the game by double digits, basically. Porter Moser, my goodness gracious, my Creighton dude. All right. Somebody back up a Brinks truck and go hire that dude. My goodness, what a coach he is. Great job again. Into the Sweet 16, they beat Illinois. Loyola Chicago and Sister Jean, they're still in the dance and they're still doing big things. Baylor did what Baylor was supposed to do. Baylor won and Baylor covered. That was the right play, just Baylor minus the points, but hindsight's 2020. We got the over for Oral Roberts in Florida. Why I was involved with the over with Oral Roberts on the money line was because I had bet the over, so I was already watching the game. So I was like, all right, let's just see if Oral Roberts can pull off the upset. So I bet the money line on that, and that wound up hitting for us. Houston wins but does not cover. Hell of a comeback for Houston, minus 8.5. They win by 3, so they advance to the Sweet 16. Rutgers probably should have beaten them in that game, but Big Ten has not been great here. Big Ten's been blah. Pac-12's been amazing. Absolutely amazing so far. And we got our only hockey bet right because I'm a hockey guy. Florida, Tampa Bay over 6 goals. Okay, so here's how today is going to go. All right. We've got 8 games today on a Monday. I will have live betting going on, but I'm going to do a radio show at the same time the games are being played. Okay, so I'm going to bet 4 games here in college basketball. During the day, there's a good chance I'm going to add, depending on how the bets are going. If we're having a horrible day, I won't add. If we're having a decent day, I will look to add, and I'll probably add hockey. Probably a hockey play, or maybe an NBA play, but really it's so awkward to have a Monday, normally this is not a tournament day for us normally on a Monday. So it's a little weird. So I'll probably add something with hockey, but just 4 plays, half a unit, and today is Monday. That means we have the Discord channel play, right? So I've got 3 plays of my own, plus the Discord channel play that we'll get to here in just 1 second, as voted on by you guys in the Discord channel. If you need a link to the Discord channel below me here on YouTube, there's a Discord link. You can go ahead and hit that and be entered, be part of the Discord community, which has been really special and really fun. And I talked about this a bit on Twitter last night. You guys, the DMs you guys were sending me were awesome. If anybody needs like a hype machine, you guys are like my hype machine, my hype coach. The guy in the sidelines that pumps up everybody. I may be having a bad day, a bad week, whatever, but you guys are like, just keep firing, man. We're with you. Don't worry about it. It's really nice. It's cool. This roller coaster ride, I got of course, I got the DMs. I got one dude coming after me over my bracket. I was like, really, dude? Like, you're mad at me about my bracket because my bracket was horrible? My bracket's awful, okay? Yeah, I'll own that. 3 of my 4 Final Four teams are gone. Ohio State is gone. Illinois, my champion, is gone, okay? Texas is gone. So, yeah, my brackets were horrible. But that's the beauty of gambling, right? Your brackets, I'm not locked in. I can go back and I can change up and I can bet. If I'm picking against a team and I'm wrong, I can go bet on that team. Like, that's just the way this works. So I don't understand that type of flex when you're coming after me about my bracket. But okay, fine. It is what it is. Let's remind you the BetMGM offer is out there right now for $160 in free bets in the second round. It's $20 per game you bet. You get $20 on a bet down. You get $20 for free to bet on every game that day. Very cool from BetMGM with that promo code JUICE100. $20 bet on any game. You get a free $20 bet on every game that day. Okay? It's really, really cool. Very fun. One bet of $20 on any game, and you get a free $20 bet on every game that day. All right? Today. So today's second round. Found day of the second round, you bet $120. They're going to give you $160 in free bets at BetMGM when you use the promo code JUICE100 when you sign up for a new account with BetMGM. Okay, let's get to the picks and the plays here today, and let's start with the Creighton Blue Jays. You guys are probably going, Matt's on Creighton. No, I'm actually not. I've seen quite a few people on Ohio, +5, +5.5, and I think that's probably a good bet, okay? I have a hard time betting against the Creighton Blue Jays. I have bet against Creighton in the tournament. I have a tough time, but if you want to tell me Ohio wins this game, I've got 2 radio friends of mine who are Ohio graduates who I'm going to hear from. I'm not a Creighton graduate, but I'm known as a Creighton guy. So I am not going to bet a side in this game. But Ohio +5.5, I don't think it's a bad play. I don't. Okay, I'm not going to fight you. I think it's probably a good play to make. However, I was going to play the over in this game. And then I started to dig a little deeper in the analytics. So Ohio was 13-10 to the over, and Creighton is 13-15-1 to the over. The Jays haven't covered in their last 3 games, all tournament games. The last 2 games for Ohio and the last 4 out of 5 for Ohio, they haven't covered, okay? So the number is 149 right now for this. Shop around here, depending when you're hearing this, but the number is 149. The one thing that really jumped out at me, I went and looked at this. So for the season, the Creighton Blue Jays are averaging 71.5 possessions per game. But over their last 3 games, the Creighton Blue Jays are averaging 65.7 possessions per game. That is nearly 7 possessions fewer than what they normally were doing. That number for the Creighton Blue Jays right now puts them in a category that's one of the slowest teams in the entire country right now. I mean, we're talking about in the 320s for possessions per game. They are playing at a stupid slow pace, and even in their last game, it was 63. Now, that had a lot to do with UCSB, okay? But it all can't be USB when you look at the teams the Jays have played. Georgetown likes to shoot and run. They got killed in that game. Connecticut, up and down team that wants to shoot and run too. The unders came in by 13, 22.5, and 28.5 over the last 3 games involving the Creighton Blue Jays. The game against Virginia, typical Virginia basketball, 130.5, right? I'm going to go a half unit here. I'm going to bet the under in this game, and I'm going to expect the Jays to be tight. I'm going to expect, neither team to bomb threes. That's my one fear, because Ohio can get up and down. They can run, but a lot of the games in which they went over, it wasn't so much them. Although they scored 90 on Akron. That's a team that plays no defense whatsoever. They scored... they average, points per game for Ohio. They're not the most explosive team offensively. They're decent, but they're not a team that's going to blow you off the court. They 79.9 points per game for Ohio was 17th best in the country, but a lot of those numbers came in the MAC and earlier in the year against teams that don't play defense. The Jays scored 76.5 points per game. Creighton's defense, though, 95th in the country. It's highly underrated, 68.1 points per game. Ohio gives up 72.7 but the Jays haven't been shooting all that well from behind the arc. And I think in a tournament game, I think they're going to be tight, considering how many big seeds have lost. I think this is a slower game. I'm going under 149 here for the Creighton Blue Jays and Ohio in the round of 32. If the Jays win, it's their first ever trip to the Sweet 16. Okay, so that's a pretty big game today for the Creighton Blue Jays, who are laying 5.5 against Ohio. Okay, second play, LSU and Michigan. So I got this number at 5.5. Okay, this number is coming down. At the time of taping, William Hill is still at 5.5 for LSU and Michigan. The Livers injury is significant. Okay, Michigan is 17-8 to the number. The public is going to be all over Michigan today. Okay, number one seeded Michigan, and I mean a lot of people have them in their brackets still to win it all, so their brackets are still alive. I really like Michigan. I really like Michigan a lot. They're one of our teams, but without Livers, they haven't covered in 3 of their last 4 games. Didn't cover against Texas Southern as 24.5-point favorites. They won by 16. That's surprising and worrisome. And then they lost to Ohio State by 1 as 5-point dogs. 5-point favorites in the Big Ten semifinals. You know, this is a team that might be running out of gas. I didn't like when Juwan Howard got ejected in the Big Ten tournament. I thought that kind of that was a sign of something that didn't really make me feel all that great. And LSU's just been phenomenal. I mean, LSU's just been simply, absolutely tremendous. And in their first game against St. Bonaventure, 2-point favorites, win by 15. They covered against Alabama in the SEC championship game as 6-point dogs. They lost by 1. They beat Arkansas as 3.5-point favorites, won by 7 in the tournament. Arkansas is a team now in the Sweet 16. We've already seen one seed go down. I think LSU can win this game outright, but I'm going to take the 5.5 points here. I took 5.5 for LSU in Michigan. And let's see about these guards. Let's see Watford. Let's see them if they can handle the inside power of Michigan. If the guards for LSU can simply outplay Michigan. LSU's got a 3-headed monster that could take them to the Final Four. They've got that type of talent. They really do. And Will Wade's a really good coach. This is a bad matchup for Michigan without Livers. I think this is tough for them. Michigan might win. But I think this is a barn burner game, 1-possession game. I'm taking LSU plus 5.5 coming up against Michigan. Half a unit. Third play of the day. This play has been talked about for a long time. Number opened up, Iowa minus 5. It is still Iowa minus 5. The Oregon Ducks did not play their first game. Why? Because VCU had COVID issues, so Oregon has not played yet in the NCAA tournament. That is concerning to me. Okay, but I made this bet as soon as the line came out. I made this bet. The line hasn't moved. Like it's just stapled. It's painted. It's just there. 5. It's been 5 in Vegas. Pretty much it's been there. The only move in Vegas, there were some books that opened up at 3.5, and it's moved to 5. I think you might get a 5.5 here or there when it comes to Oregon against Iowa, but this is Dana Altman against Fran McCaffrey. This is Oregon's offense against Iowa's offense. I could see an overplay here, and I was kind of looking at myself with 147.5. I was thinking, but the last 7 games have gone over for Oregon. And you go, well, man, it's Iowa. But Dana Altman, I don't think Dana Altman's going to want to run with Iowa. And Iowa has 2 of the last 3 games have gone under. Now, the totals have been 154 and 143 against Wisconsin and Illinois. But and the total here is 148 for Oregon and Iowa. I'll probably personally be on the over. I'll probably have a play on this myself on the over in this game. But I'm going to take the points. And I'm going to take Oregon. And if Oregon wins this game outright, it will not surprise me in the least. I've been saying I was going to fade Iowa in the second round, and here I go to fade Iowa in the second round. Why? Because Oregon's really good. The Pac-12 has been phenomenal. I mean, just incredible. And I think going into the tournament, I thought Oregon was the best team in the Pac-12. So, I mean, Iowa has not covered in the last 4 games, both against Wisconsin, Illinois, and Grand Canyon. They have not covered. They're laying 5 here against Oregon. One possession game. Iowa might win. I think Oregon keeps it close. I'm taking Oregon plus the 5 here today for the third play. And the final play of the day, on the podcast at least, the Discord bet. You guys voted. You guys on the Discord voted. I gave you 3 different options. Colorado money line was one option. Alabama -5 was one option. And I can't remember the third option. It was a 5-point dog, which I can't. Oh, Abilene Christian. That was the other one for the dog bet to go ahead up against UCLA. And there was some dispute over which side to be on, UCLA or Abilene Christian. A lot of people are on UCLA today, okay? There were a lot of people who were going to be on UCLA, so you guys couldn't determine it. So those were the 3 options for the Discord bet, and you guys all voted overwhelmingly to ride the Crimson Tide today. And I don't hate this play. It probably would have been one of my own if I had made it, against Maryland. The line opened up at 3.5 here in Vegas. It's been bet up quickly to 5. It's been pretty stagnant at 5 for a while here, but I like Alabama's matchups here. I like Alabama's defense here. This is the one thing with Maryland in their last game where if you look at the way Maryland was able to play, defensively, they were just a real matchup nightmare. And we faded Maryland. If you remember, in the last game, I had UConn. And UConn really had a tough time with Maryland's overall defense. In Connecticut, it's not a team that's going to get out on the perimeter and really guard you and take away the 3 and be tough and physical on the glass. That is what you're going to see out of Alabama. Defensively, just tremendous. Great offense. Great leadership. I mean, they are one of the best teams in the country. They have been one of the best teams in the country all year. And you guys laid 5 with Alabama up against Maryland today for the Discord bet, which is 2-2, historically speaking, on the Daily Juice. Okay, 4 plays for us. Under 149 for Creighton in Ohio. LSU plus 5.5 against Michigan. Oregon plus 5 against Iowa. And Alabama -5 up against Maryland are the 4 plays today, all for a half a unit. My name is Matt Peralt. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. Same name in the Discord channel, because I will most likely have something else, a hockey bet or something going, depending on how the day goes. But I only have 3 bets going, so we don't leave a half a unit hanging. I'll probably have a half a unit in play coming up here tonight, depending on how the day goes with the 2 units, my 3 in the Discord, 1 bet. Let's see how things go for the final second round day, the 4th day of the dance, technically 5th day of the dance, coming up here today on a Monday. It's the Daily Juice Podcast, brought to you by BetMGM every morning here on BettingPros.com.